Hi, everybody. Happy Tuesday. We're Tuesday, people. Welcome, everybody, to Heart-Centered Remote Viewing Open Class. Thanks, everybody who's decided to tune in. Today, we're going to be teaching people the most common technique of remote viewing. Because I have love letters from many of you saying, Whimsy, why are you making us do the long trance and going into detail about the 50 step, the 5 steps. Somebody said that's like 50 steps. So today we're going to do a technique where you can get in about a couple minutes. But before we do that, let's give gratitude. Hello, Linda Baruian. Thank you for being the first. Hello, 1111. Shabbat Shalom. Or no, it's not Shabbat. It's Hag Sameach. Happy Hanukkah to you. Hello, LC. Looking forward to seeing you. Pamela Doss, hello. Hope. Thank you for being here and being the moderator. Hello, Kat. Sending you hearts as well. Thanks, Philerin. Again, thank you for the beautiful gift of the truffles. I really am enjoying that. The truffle extraordinary combination of things I got. All right, Debbie, hello. Irma de Santiago, hello. Terry Renner, welcome. More paper, please. Yes, we do need more paper. Melissa Lawson, hello. I'm going to keep saying hi to people while everybody gets here. So while we're hanging out waiting for the whole class to show up, why is today special? Why are the heart-centered remote viewers saying today's a special day? Anybody know? One of our prophecies, well, not really prophecy, Mitch McConnell. Finally cut the head off the beast. Yeah, we're here together. So this goes back to like a remote viewing we did a couple years ago about the fact that ultimately Bill Barr would, there would come a point when Bill Barr could not save this president, and then that Mitch McConnell would cut the head off the beast. What? I brainwashed the oracle. No, you didn't brainwash me, but the reason why it was so long is because people wanted to learn how I do a nightly meditation. And it doesn't take me that long to get into a meditative state. It's not going to be full trance. If you're doing a quick remote viewing technique, which is the one we're going to learn today, it shouldn't take you that long. We're also going to be doing some drills today. Okay. Also, I hope everyone's sending prayers out to Marie's table. I just wanted to send love and support to her and her husband. I know that they're going through a really rough time. He especially. So we just want to send our prayers to a fellow empath, the beautiful Marie at Marie's table, and I hope that we'll just keep sending good thoughts to them and good prayers. So yes, so that was what happened with Mitch McConnell. What do y'all think about that? So who's the next actor? So now Mitch McConnell has delivered the line, right? He's cut the head off the beast. Now he can exit. He exits stage left. Now who's going to come in stage right? We're going to start seeing more of Lindsey Graham, Mr. President. we have reached a consensus, right? In the Senate, we had to get to a point where it was a consensus. Okay, we're just about at the consensus, right? Because we have the beast's head getting cut off. So that's kind of cool. All right, so I think we can go ahead and start class. There's 182 of us. I anticipated that there would be less and less and less every week because a lot of people really don't, when they find out how hard it is, they're like, I don't really know if I really want to learn this technique. I wanted it to be, but hopefully today I'll make it a little bit easier. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about today is how to get into a state where you can be a good reader, whether you're using a deck of cards. Thanks, Hope. If you're using a deck of cards or whatever tool you're using, but you want to be able to get into, you want to be ready to work as quickly as possible. Now, say, for example, you have to go to a client's house, client's having an issue, and you get in your car and you're going to go and you are the professional heart-centered remote viewer. Of course you're professional. You're the 21st century urban shaman, right? So when you're thinking about whether or not you have to go and deal with a situation like getting in a car and going and seeing a client or a client coming to your office or a situation like that, there are things you're going to want to think about that are going to help you get into, excuse me, just finished a cheese sandwich. It was delicious, but give me a bit of a cough. There's a couple things you're going to think about that are going to help you get into a remote state. The first thing we're going to talk about is power objects. Has anybody ever heard the term fetish objects or power objects? We're not talking about sex when we talk about power objects or fetish objects. Does everybody know what we're talking about? It was Tillamook cheddar cheese on toast with butter and Marmite and a slice of tomato. It's a bad habit. Sometimes I put cucumber, but I ran out of cucumber. It's a bad habit. I used to live in England, so I have to have my Marmite and toast. It's like a quick, when you want to eat at night, you see you got to go into class or something, so just Marmite and toast with cheese. But I always get a cough after I eat carbs. Anyway, so a fetish object is a ritual object that is used in order to connect with the spirit world, or it's a power object. Now, as remote viewers, we've talked a lot about the things that you use in order to get into a trance state, right? Can anybody remember some of the things that we think about that can be helpful in a trance state? Just if I threw it out to the audience right now, what if I was to put it on a test and say, okay, student, can you tell me, we need to get you into a trance state. Can you name some objects that are going to help you get into a trance state? Anybody can anybody think of anything? Very good. So chanting would be an example of something that's going to alter your brain waves, drop your brainwave patterns to the repetitiveness of it can help. But that's not a fetish object. A fetish object is the chanting is definitely going to help you get into a trance state. Music definitely going to help you with a trance state, right? We want to stimulate our senses, right? Eat, right? What we taste, what we smell, what we hear, everything should be the experience that's going to help you enter into the trance state. So it's like incense or smudging, candles for the sight. Taste, you may choose to make yourself tea, or some people use other plant medicines or use no medicine at all. Some people will simply have butter tea, right? They'll have a nice tea. The drum, the drum is definitely a fetish object. And the thing about the drum, thank you, SF, that's important, is that the drum is very ancient. Even amongst shamans in Tibet, you'll see the same drum. It predates the immigration to the Americas. We're talking about 10, 11,000 years at least that shamans have been using the drum. Judith mentions crystals, Yvonne, candles, very good. Michelle Taylor mentioned chamomile tea. Chamomile tea is definitely a seer's tea. It was often carried, and it was one of the first herbs to get used up too. If you're looking at the old barefoot doctors, it was one of the things that they coveted the most because it's a nervine. It can help with pain. It can put people to sleep, but it also allows the remote viewer to be completely coherent, and yet they find that their remote viewings are a lot more effective when they take in some of the plant medicines. And of course, we've talked about chamomile tea, and all the nervine teas can be helpful in that respect. Scented oils, absolutely. Yeah, the plant medicines. Okay, so now I want to get specifically about what a power object is. A power object is something that you can either wear on your person or take with you to the office that's going to help you get into or help you focus to get into a meditative state. I've noticed Linda G does this as well. I've also seen Johnny from Thoreau's Apprentice will wear a heart. It's very common. You'll see that. It's kind of the universal symbol of the empath. Professional empaths will often wear one. This is one of my main power symbols. And what it does is it just reminds me of my function. Because sometimes I'm not always the nicest person in the world. I can get cranky. I got a temper. I'm an Aries. So it's a nice little object that I have that reminds me of what my role is. Oh, Kathy, you have a gold one? That works too. One of the most common fetish objects, believe it or not, or power objects, is the wedding ring. That you betroth yourself to someone, and then people will often touch the ring when they think about that vow or the commitment that went into giving a vow like that. That would be an example of a fetish object. Other fetish objects can be the costume you wear. So if you feel that coming in a pair of blue jeans and t-shirt works for you, that's great. You may find, though, that if you dress a particular way, that's going to be a fetish object for you. And we see this a lot in traditional indigenous tribes. People will put on masks. They'll put on clothes and costumes like an actor, and they will get into the character. So the costume and the clothing is one of the main fetish objects that you may want to take close attention to as a heart-centered remote viewer. Now, different people have different traditions. For example, there are some heart-centered remote viewers, some empaths, some mystics, yogis, etc., that only wear white. This is more the Kundalini tradition, Kundalini yoga. They do a lot of empath work. They do a lot of work with Kundalini yoga that is really aligned beautifully with being a heart-centered remote viewer. Now, with that community, people that are going through teacher training or professional training, their costume, like I said, is going to be all white, whereas if you were to study in the Bon tradition, you might be asked to wear a brick red. So again, it's just a costume that identifies you with whatever is powerful or meaningful to you. Oh, Greek Killbilly. That's interesting. It's interesting you mentioned that, Greek Killbilly, because in the Zen tradition, the power object is a robe. And when you take vows to become a monastic, you purchase the cloth, and then by hand, you must make your own robe. And then it's presented to your teacher, and then he in a ceremony, and then you you wear the robe that you made. So again, it goes back to this idea of power objects. I wear a lot of white. I think white is white and pink are good colors for me. I think of the pink lotus, which is Kuan Yin, which is the feminine attributes of enlightenment, or the female Buddha. So I like a lot of white and pink combinations. Today I'm in blue. Blue is also a nice color. It's a color of royalty, the royal blue. Also red can be a color of royalty. But again, the idea is that when you're dressing, particularly if you're in the office, if a client's coming to see you and it's going to be their first impression of you as a remote viewer, you want to feel like you're in your power center. But for years, when I was a tarot reader at Edge of the Circle Books in Seattle, I did that for like 5.5, 6 years. I was in jeans and a t-shirt because that was how I felt comfortable. But I had like a ring, or I had some kind of power symbol. For a while it was a ring that just reminded me of my ethics. Particularly when you're doing that kind of work, you always want to check in on your ethics. So find out what your power objects are going to be that are going to help you feel connected to the work quickly. And of course, these are things that can be portable, or they're things that you can leave in your office. A common power object is whatever you're using that's going to help you get in. Oh, thank you, Jackie. So I think of my tarot deck as a power object in a way. I think it's the main power object I use. I'm studying other things. I'm studying the runes, astrology. There's so many things I find interesting about these types of arts, the eclectic arts, the metaphysical arts. I just love it. But I think for me, you can pick your fetish up. For me, it was the tarot deck. Yeah, I don't need them. And I started off in the very beginning not using them. I would just focus on getting into the altered state, and then I would just read. But people got uncomfortable. I think people get uncomfortable with a medium because they're just there reading. And for me, it helped me. At first, I didn't know how to read the cards because I was just a remote viewer, but it helped give the patient something to look at, or the client to look at. But what you're really communicating with is your own gut. All right, so here we're going to talk about the. Am I done with this part of the lecture? All right. Oh, so other common power objects historically that people have used: gree bags. Y'all know what a gree is, like in voodoo, hoodoo. Bags, they put magical things in it to gain power. Idols, familiars, like your cat or your dog. People will call it a comfort animal. Incense, candles, sage. Amongst the Hopis and the Navajo, they had Kachina dolls. I thought that was pretty cool. And there's a whole series of research that people have done just on the Kachina dolls. All right. Grigri. Voodoo. It's a bag filled with things like incense, stones, whatever, and it's just a fetish object. Stones are really big, right? Because each stone, it has a different density, a different color, a different vibration. And for me, my main stone is going to be the rose quartz, because again, I'm mostly focusing on empathy and Kuan Yin. That's my main emphasis. So you'll find your path, that's just, I prefer to focus on that. Cowrie shells are amazing. I'm very attracted to the Yoruba. I feel very comfortable in that community, and they'll use the cowrie to see things, divine from the spirits. Okay, so we're going to talk about quick technique now. Everybody ready for notes? Yay. Okay, so this is how fast it should go. Client comes to see you, and unfortunately, it's a divorce case. We'll give you one of the worst cases you're going to get. Okay, so client comes to see you. She says, my husband's been out late, and I want you to tell me if he's having an affair. Seems like a classic. Yeah, I can do tarot card reading. Okay, so the first thing you do is what? What's the first thing you're going to do before you go into trance state? You did set and setting, we just talked about. You've got your power objects. Protection, right? Going to do the protection prayer. So the first thing you'll do is you'll do your intake. This usually takes, that's why my appointments go 55 minutes, because I chat for 5 usually. The chit chat in the beginning, a lot of times people are scared because they're coming to a remote viewer, but you'll talk, you'll get I get their birthday. Also, you're aligning your energy with your subject's energy. So what helps me tune in, and Linda G does this also, which I think it's interesting because she and I both do it and we both don't know why, but I will take the patient's name, and then I want their birthday, and then I'll do the gematria, the numbers. And what that does is it gives me a little time to ground. Because what I'm doing is I'm trying to connect with the other person. I'm trying to lock on connect with the target, but I'm also starting to ground myself. But as soon as we go in, I'll do the protection prayer. So we do the intake, we get the patient's name, birthday. I do like to get started off. People say, no, the psychic needs no. I think it's great if a psychic's so good they don't need any prompting, but I tend to find it's more helpful if I get a little information like, is this a divorce case, or what am I going in for? So that's your intake. And then after the intake, you're going to do your protection prayer or the empath's prayer. And we put that up for people, which is I want to call on white light protection. So after you do, or even when you're doing the prayer, that's the point at which you want to ground yourself. So you're going to imagine while you're saying the prayer, I want to call on white light protection for myself and my client as we ask permission from spirit to access the Akashic records. As I'm saying that prayer, I'm imagining sending a beam and roots to the earth and the grounding. I'm imagining myself entering into rock solid grounded. So you say the prayer, and as you're doing the protection, you're imagining roots going into the ground so that you're stable. So I'm protected and I'm solid. I'm stable. I'm good. I'm grounded. So by the end of the prayer for protection, you've already entered into a grounding state. So then you're going to ground yourself. That's the second thing. Imagine roots to the earth, right? And grounding as you say the prayer. And then the third step, that's all you're going to do. And now the third step is you're just going to focus on your gut. And as you go into the energy of the client, what the client is asking you, I want you to really listen to her. And I want you to check in on your gut and see what your gut is doing. If it's disturbed, if it's upset, what you're doing is you're then mirroring the emotions of the client. And sometimes if a client is extremely traumatized, they can't tell you how they feel. That's why they called you. That's why a lot of people who have come to see me, they've seen me get really angry because some people who have been clients of mine are on the channel tonight, and they've been so nice, some of these clients, and then they'll tell me a horror story and I will just become infuriated because they're cool, but as the empath, it's like sometimes I feel the anger that the client isn't able to feel because maybe they're afraid to feel it, maybe they're ashamed to feel it. So that's kind of an interesting part about being a remote viewer. But the step 3 is when I really want you to check in with your gut. All right. So I'm going to just show you what that looks like. And so who wants to be a volunteer and get a volunteer reading? Like a 5-minute reading. I need like a volunteer. Yeah, but with mindfulness, you're observing what your gut is. There's a difference between being the observer. Greek hillbilly. Okay, so hi, Greek hillbilly. Welcome. Nice to see you here, Greek hillbilly. So, Greek hillbilly, what brings you in to see the doctor today? What's the challenge? What can you tell me a little bit about what brings you in today? It can be one word. I don't care. Geek. You're geek hill. Oh, okay. I thought a Greek. Well, I love Greek food. Geek hillbilly. A geeky hillbilly. What brings you in today? Like divorce, love, marriage, whatever. Something short and sweet. Not from thens? I don't understand. Geek hillbilly. Pick me, Lisa Atkins. Okay. So Geek hillbilly tells me the challenge. Athens? I don't understand the question. Is there a question? Or you just want me to throw on Athens? I don't really know what I'm doing here. Okay, so the client, patient, etc. tells you what they want. Okay, great. We're going to go ahead. We'll do a general. I just need to land. I need to get in. So what I'm going to do, if it's okay with you, is I always tell the patient I need to do a general because I need to find out. Okay, send. Okay. I need to find out where I am because if I pop out the other end and I don't know where the heck first let me feel comfortable in your Akashic field. Let me orient myself. Like, where the hell am I? Okay, now I know where I am. Now I know what this is. Okay, I know where I am now. Now you can send me anywhere, but I got to know where the door is. It feels that way to me a little bit. But all right, so it goes like this. So step 1, we'll do the prayer. Then you'll see me ground myself, and then you'll see me go to the gut. Now this is close to the test we're going to be doing because we're going to be doing a test after this. All right. I want to call on white light protection for myself and Geek Hillbilly as we ask permission from Spirit to access their Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and good angels to be with us. Give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower Geek Hillbilly on their journey to make the best decisions for themselves, the family, the planet, the people they love, and also to help those we have strife with. And together we say amen. So now I'm grounded. And remember, this is my power object. Power object is whatever you use that's going to help you get in. I pulled 2 base cards, the base of the matter, the summary of the reading, and then 10 of cups. And then when I go in, I look at the object and I listen to the patient. So I'm open to the patient and I'm feeling how my gut responds. And don't worry about opening up the heart. Just worry about your gut right now. What was the question that Hillbilly wanted? Cards are excellent, actually. This is actually the energy of somebody who is headed towards a a pretty happy married life, a happy life. 10 of Cups is coming in as the base, and then there's a 9 of Cups, which is stability, also financial stability. So it's interesting when you go into the energy, if this person was sad or was going and alone, it's kind of interesting because if somebody is sad and alone and they are somebody who takes responsibility for their life, they're going to go out and do something about it. But my gut feeling, based on what I'm feeling in my gut and based on what I'm seeing in the cards, is that this is someone who's going to live a very happy life and be happily married. You can see the karma card they're going through is happy marriage. And then the 9 of Pentacles, which is financial wealth. So it's kind of interesting that came up also, financial wealth here, Ace of Pentacles in the first house, and then crossing card. This is somebody who grieved. Also, there's money and grief connected. Again, you're just going with you're looking at the cards. What's your gut telling you? That feels wrong. That feels right. That feels wrong. This feels right. That's how you're going to read. That's just the basic quick technique. Oh, money going back and forth. This is somebody who may have had a lot of losses or grief, is confused after some losses. Perhaps someone passed away. There is some money here, possibly an inheritance. Yeah, 6th house. Somebody who wants to serve and help others. Picky, though. One of the reasons they're alone is because they're very picky about who they allow into their personal space. Ended a relationship with someone, possibly came out of a toxic or codependent relationship. The other person might have had bigger problems than they did. Hopes and fears that they will be a failure. Ooh, that's the failure card. And the final outcome is your heart will open again and you will love again. 2 of Swords is kicked to the curb. This looks like somebody who had a bad relationship with somebody. Possibly that person had an addiction or maybe possibly an addict or something like that. And then the relationship, they end it, and then it leaves them in a situation where they're cold or restricted. And then the hope and fears that it reflects on them badly, a failure card. But then their heart opens again, and then they find love again. So that would be an example of a 5-minute quick going with your gut. That's a fast reading. Go with your gut, go with your gut, go with your gut. Because you're not trying, at that point, you're not trying to remote view anyone. You're reading directly for the person. The heart comes in, then that same person wants you once you connect like that, then if the person says, well, can you check on my daughter? Then because now I'm in, I can then go, because I'm grounded, I'm connected to them, I'm in their field. Now, if they send me somewhere, I'm going to go through their field to get there because they know the individual. So what happened with Geek Hillbilly? Oh, you okay, Geek Hillbilly? Did that help? I'm teaching and reading. I don't know. You got a very happy marriage coming your way, by the way. And I'll tell you why. That's another thing. I don't know this person, but I've been in your field. You're going to be fed up with yourself. You're going to get off your tuchus and you're going to go get your partner. Yeah, it's up to you. You know what you want. You're very grounded. This is ridiculous. You're going to put yourself out there and you know what you're looking for and you're going to get it. You're going to find it. And you're going to find it soon. Third charm will be I'll tell you why the third time is going to be a charm for you, Geek Hillbilly. It's going to be a charm for you because you learn from those mistakes. And by the way, the guy with the problem, that last lunatic, that was not your problem. That devil was in the 8th house and it inverted. Go work on your problem by yourself, man. It's not my problem. So anyway, so that's the quick technique. Now you're going in and okay. So if I want to now access records on somebody else, I'll take a volunteer or we'll stay with Geek Hillbilly because we're still in Geek Hillbilly's field. So who have you not seen since she left? Somebody left? I don't know. I can go ahead and access records on that person. I'm missing this chat. Somebody educate me. I'm trying. This is much better when it's like a public class. This way it's not working quite as well. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, he was an alcohol. Well, yeah, because the devil card. So if I were to go into that ex, if she were to give me, he or she were to give me the birthday of that person, then I would be able to get a significator. And I go by astral. You know, say if it's a water sign, I pick a water card. I'll take the King of Wands. I'll use it as an example. So the patient then gives you the birthday of the patient, or I mean the subject. You take out a significator if you're using cards or something else that's going to from your power tools to help you focus on the subject. So you've got the patient's name, birthday, whatever, whatever's going to help you focus, and you're going through Geek Hillbilly. I'm still aligned with them. And now I'm looking at this individual's ex, and this is somebody that really did a lot of self-examination, open communication, and possibly is working on sobriety, because you can see a 4 of Pentacles, which is the Buddha card, and then 10 of Pentacles inverted. December 10th, 1959. Yeah, this is the card. Damn, I'm good. I'm just joking. I just randomly grabbed it. It just happened to be the right one. But this is a Sag person. You know, I think he may be working on his recovery, believe it or not, because 4 of Pentacles is like the Buddha card, self-examination. Also, he may have had some financial problems because of it. And you can see 10 of Pentacles inverted. That to me is open communication, because family members that don't talk, they watch, observe, and don't speak is one aspect of 10 of Pentacles for me. So this is somebody, I think they might be in recovery. Yeah, there's a 10 of Cups over. Victory in love, 6 of Wands. Oh, thank you. He's contemplating his own death. He's doing his own work. This guy is, yeah, look at this. He thought he was going to die. Look at this. Hey, Geek Hillbilly, he knows what he lost. His response in relationship, look at this. Does this guy look like he's happy that he lost Geek Hillbilly? Look at that. You don't know what you've got till it's gone. Yeah, he you know what? You learn your lesson when you lose a good person. Strife. He has strife. He's confused, lunatic, moon energy, alcoholism, blood sugar dysregulation, the Tower. He's somebody who, he needs medical attention, this guy. Look at this, constant conflict with others. So in a situation like that, you go in with your gut, but because I'm remote viewing for somebody else, I will open my heart a little bit to try and really put myself in their shoes, what they're going through. This particular person is really struggling with sobriety. Oh, it's a she? Yeah, well, if it's a she, this person was trying to be clean and sober. Joni Mitchell? What about Joni Mitchell? Was that Joni Mitchell's birthday? Oh, it's a girlfriend. Oh, I picked the King of Wands. I just grabbed, I thought it was a male. But it's the same. It's the energy of somebody that doesn't, they're struggling with their sobriety. Okay, so I'm going to open it up to the floor. Does anybody have any questions about quick technique? Just boom, boom. You say a prayer, you ground yourself, you focus on your gut as you're looking at whatever, using whatever power tool you're using, or no power tool. What's a 3-week Chewini? What's a Chewini? Wasn't long after she left when a teeny 3-week Chewini was dropped into my yard. I don't know what that is. Okay, no, this wasn't about doing readings. Yes, Clarence, I will pray for your mom who has COVID. Thank you, Stacy. All right. So does everybody understand? Let's open up. No, I don't want to do any readings. That's not what this is. This is a class for people who want or becoming professional readers, or who just want to learn the technique. Anybody have questions? Sheila, yeah, Sheila goes into trance even when she's doing a reading. Yeah, she talks openly about that. Some people, that's cool. Other people are wide awake. I mean, sometimes people read and they don't feel, you don't see any change. All right, so now we're going to be using a target. Anybody have any more questions before we start doing? We're going to do some tests now. Cord cutting, yes. Cord cutting is the point at which you close the Akashic records. If I don't do it, if the person says thanks, I say no problem. It was really nice speaking with you. Then after that, I will cut cords with the client. I might make a couple notes about the client. I sometimes will put notes in for the client, or my assistant will, if something comes up. But yeah, that's boom, boom. Blitzen, on Dasher, I don't know. Just the more you can get in touch with your gut and your heart and what sensations are coming from it during a reading, the faster you're going to be able to be a professional reader. And Mila agrees. There she goes. Mila! Where'd Mila? Where'd you go? To know the difference between one's own ego and the target, it's a big problem. So you feel the feeling, which is your emotional response to what you're sensing or feeling from the other individual. And then you tell them exactly what you're feeling. And 9 times out of 10, you're right. I mean, I've seen other people, though, they'll read up here where it's all hearing voices and this guide is saying this, and that's cool. But I tend to prefer the abiding technique. I like to be in my gut, waiting, listening on spirit, trying to see if a feeling comes up, listening or sensing what the client is saying. Then if I get a disturbance or something, or sometimes I'll get a pain and the person say, yeah, I need a knee replacement. That as a medical intuitive, you'll get a lot of hits also. You'll start to sense them and you'll be like, ooh, I got a pain, or, oh, I got this going on. Is it still buffering? Practice, practice, practice. Is everybody ready for homework? I mean, not, it's, we're going to test people. We've got 15 minutes, and I wanted to put 15 minutes aside for the test. So I want you to cut the cord. What? You thank them and you release them. They don't want you to cut. I know what you mean. You mean like a lover or someone who's in love with you or something like that? Yeah, cut the cord and then put your mind to another task. You cut cords. And then you thank them. I thank you. I release the cords. If I still feel disturbance, I'll make a note of it. But then if you look at the old text, they say set about another task, which doesn't seem very helpful. But if you're looking like at the old stuff out of Egypt, the old mystery schools of Egypt, the writings, set about another task. In plainer words, if you are obsessing about somebody and they're floating around in your energy because they've decided that, you showed up and now they can't get you out of their mind, and so you're doing that whole thing, set about another task. So something that requires your mind, start balancing the books and start doing your accounting. Or get pulled into a really good book, something that's set to a task that's completely different that will pull you away from the energy, and then the energy will dissipate that way. Okay, let's do this. So everybody get comfortable. Okay, we've got a target. We're going to be using the quick technique today. I got to get an image of the target. This is why the RV people are mad at me, because I show people how to do this stuff live. But, I think it is better if you can go and actually take a class. But I'm just showing you some of the basic stuff we do. Okay, so I have the target in my sight. So is everybody ready to be tested? Oh, cookies. Who said cookies? That's, every remote viewer, you burn a lot of calories when you do this, particularly if like your herb of choice is marijuana. Like a lot of remote viewers will take edibles, because if you take high dose edible marijuana, the chemicals in edible marijuana take you straight through the rabbit hole, and the next thing you know, you're there. That's why people are like, can I eat that? I don't recommend any herb. I feel like the reader has to find out what the right herb is. Those types of herbs are very strong, and I do sometimes use them. But to be honest with you, I think it's better to try and use nothing or a little bit of chamomile tea, so that you can see what it's like to just do a straight reading. But okay, so are we ready to get tested? Oh, no problem, Sharon. Okay, everybody ready? So I'm going to be projecting an image to you of an individual, dead or alive, that you know. And let's just do a collective prayer. Can everybody, let me just first make sure that when I go back and forth, I'm not losing people. Let's make sure everybody's okay. Thank you, Anna. That's very kind of you. Good to see you here, by the way. Yeah, if you're doing, it's different when you're doing, look, if you have a client, Michelle, and the client, say, a company calls you and says, I need you to go in and find out who embezzled funds, blah, 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 and I'm willing to pay you a lot of money. That's something where, in your case, Michelle, you get a client like that, then they can pay for that kind of advanced work. Then you've got your drums, you've got your stuff, you've got yourself in the trance state, you know how to do the 5-step technique, you take the plant medicine, you go and do a soul retrieval, and then the next day when you have to report back to your client, that's what that is. That's very close to what the Lakota Sioux do. And people will pay good money for that. I personally do a lot of that, but it knocks you out. I mean, you can't take plant medicine every night. You could, but you'd be a basket case. So that's why I think it's better to not do any plant medicine. Or you could do tobacco also. Tobacco is a plant medicine they would use, or burning sage. It doesn't have to be something quite that intense. All right. So let's get started. All right. Oh, thank you, Danielle. Yes, it's very sweet of you. Thank you. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, for the planet, for the people we love, but also to help those we may have strife with. And together, collectively, we say, Amen. Amen. All right, so I want everybody they've got themselves in a bubble of light, a shield of protection. You've said the prayer, and I want you to just imagine that you're sinking deeper and deeper into relaxation, breathing out the tension. And just imagine nice root going into the ground, just really digging into the ground, and now you're grounded, and all that beautiful energy of the earth is coming up. And now that you imagine yourself grounded, I want you to focus on your gut. And as you're focusing on your gut, I'm going to be projecting an image to you. And the first thing I'm going to do as I focus on this image, I just want you to focus on your gut, feel your gut. And I want you to write down whether or not you think this, you don't have to type it out, write it down, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. If this individual is male or female. So the first question of the test is the gender of the target. Okay. The next thing we're going to be focusing on is the color of the eyes of the target. Okay, and the next thing you're going to be focusing on is, can you get any impressions of hair color of the target? All right, we're going to also now take this a step further than we did last week. We're now going to look at other characteristics of the target. Do you feel that this target is positive or negative? Like, do you feel that this person, does your heart open up or close? If you were to open up your heart to the target, do you feel a positive response or a negative response? Trust yourself. Do you feel icky and creepy, or do you feel positive and wonderful? If you've done this right, you may start actually feeling the emotions of the target, so that now you're confused as an empath and you don't know what is your emotions and what is the emotions of the target. You may be feeling angry at people you don't know, for example. That's all normal, and that's all stuff that we definitely want you to document in a professional setting. I have to know as much detail as possible. If I'm the person that's hired you, say I'm trying to find the killer or something like that. So try and be as any weird thing, like I'm craving bubble gum, any weird thing like that, a smell, a sound, a taste. As you tune into your heart, as you tune into your gut, write it all down. Thoughts, feelings, emotions, everything. Okay. Oh, Bugs Bunny. Oh, Bugs Bunny. What am I going to do with you, Bugs Bunny? Everybody ready to guess? Who was the target? Let's go ahead and have people guess. I'm just going to let people guess. And let's see how close people got. Hi, Jeffrey. Good to see you. How are we doing on time? Try to respect people's time. Good job, Sarah. Good job, Phyllis. Good job, Sharon. Good job. Good job. It was Vladimir Putin. The reason I said good job is because the gender was male, the eyes were blue, and the hair was light brown, graying. Several people came up with that and got it right. You got a positive response, which I thought was interesting. And this is, it's okay. Trust me, the more you do this, you're going to get really, 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 really. Bugs Bunny, you got it the most right of anybody. So Bugs Bunny turned out to be the most accurate. So my point is this. So what did you learn from this experience? How many people have said Vladimir Putin's evil? But you see, you just went into his energy and you abided with him. Good job, Kathy. That's right. So the point is that what you realize when you're intimate with any target is that nobody is evil, entirely evil. People are complicated, and you're connecting on a core star level. You may even feel pleasant towards somebody who's not necessarily doing the. Oh, interesting. Shoot. Yeah, write all that stuff down, because it may be a grandmother or something that the target was, someone that the target was connected with. Who got Putin? I think Bugs Bunny may have gotten the most accurate. All right, we can all stay and hang, but a lot of people can only do 1 hour. So let's go ahead and say goodbye to everybody who came to class today. Class ends after an hour. I have to honor people's time. So thanks, everybody. I guess I'll see you next Tuesday. We're going to just be doing tons and tons of drills. So next week we'll do the quick technique again. So, but if people want to hang with me now, we can just hang out. Maybe we'll do a little reading. We'll do some after hours stuff. Oh, interesting, Anna. Well, when he was younger, his hair was darker. Confident leader. Very good, Sarah. Oh, Marie, you got so close. You guys did great. Who here feels like they got a feedback and it made no sense? Like, why? Oh, Stacy, you got it right? Well, of course you got it right. Well, that was a remote test, Robin. That's what this is. We're testing today. These are folks that are training to be professional remote viewers. So we're just doing drills. Okay. It is intimate. Thanks for mentioning that, Tamara. It is intimate because I don't project you're evil when I'm connecting with a target. When I go into a target, like today when we did that experiment, I'm just open. I'm grounded. I'm protected. You can't hurt me. Show me what you got. Let me see what's under the dress. Like, show me what you got. And Meter, your third chakra felt strange. How do we practice it on our own? You pick a target and then you connect with the target and then you go with your gut and then, you can be polite. A lot of people say, well, I don't want to love the target because I have moral problems with that. Also, I'm tricking the target. I mean, an example we talked about with this particular individual who asked me about it earlier today, we use the example of Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen was doing very heavy praying after the raid. That's prime pickings for a heart-centered remote viewer, right? You guys know by now that if somebody's crying and praying out to God, I'll go in, right? Oh yeah, Robin, that'll happen too. You'll see something that spooks you. So you got it right and got scared off. So the question was it morally wrong that I went in and gave love and light to Michael Cohen at a time when he was emotionally vulnerable using, I used the 5-step technique, and people were like, oh my God, it got such detail, even to the signatures. That's true, but it's true because the fact that you got into the emotions of another individual was how to access the information. So the ethical question is, if you're tricking somebody by saying, oh, love, 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 so they trust you, and then they give you all this private information, what are the moral and ethical problems with that? It's something to think about. I don't know what, normally because they're celebrities, because they're public people, because it's crime, because this is an entertainment channel, because I make mistakes all the time. I've never thought about it as something like on this channel we have to be strict about, but I think we do, even in a situation like where it's just the channel. Can we do another target? I'm kind of burning out. By the way, I worked 8 hours. I did 8 hours of readings today, so I'm just like... But I do want to do some blitzes, I think, before we close. Yeah, Fillerin, do you feel that? that I took advantage. I mean, like, did I take advantage of Michael Cohen? As did the remote viewer take advantage of the target? I don't think so, because I don't think I was trying to hurt the target. Thank you, Terry. I don't think so, Fillerin, because my intention wasn't to hurt the target, and I wasn't trying to rip the target off or defraud the target. I was simply delivering the information as clearly as I could. It's like yesterday I did a remote view of Mar-a-Lago and the energy of Donald Trump in Mar-a-Lago, and when I got there, he was staying in somebody else's hotel. The hotel and the energy of the hotel, it looked like almost like a Chinese government run hotel, and this guy was allowed to stay there. So that was something in the energy I didn't expect when I went to Mar-a-Lago. Like, you don't own Mar-a-Lago. Does the public thinks you own Mar-a-Lago? You don't own Mar-a-Lago. So that's kind of surprising stuff that. I still think, though, it's bad karma to, like, just who's Jeffrey Rosen? Yeah, like, I think China owns it. I think China owns Mar-a-Lago. I don't think he owns more. I don't think he owns much of anything. God, where did all this money go? It's like he spent it all on partying and women or something. I don't know. Risen is the bar replacement. All right, I'll check. Bar's replacement. Rosen. What's he like? Who picked him? Trump? I don't think it's going to help. Look at this. Sun, the stuff is coming out. Looks all major arcana. Judgment card is coming, and then justice. I don't think anything Trump does can change any of this at this point. I'm feeling a little bit better. Like, I know a lot of us were really feeling depressed last week because we saw like how the karma had played out, and a lot of I know a lot of y'all, we all got kind of depressed. There's no free choice. They did exactly. But I've since changed my feeling about it, because I feel like this is just cause and effect what we do. We're just looking at the energy and like what the most likely thing is going to happen through mindfulness. This is basic Buddhist mindfulness techniques we're using. So the cause already happened. So I don't think it's like, oh, they didn't change their karma. They had already committed the crime. So because the cause had already happened, it was inevitable that eventually people were going to get arrested. So I don't think we should feel bad as empaths, like, oh, because I get like that sometimes. That depressed feeling you sometimes get when, oh, I got it right. A lot of readers, we're not happy because, like, well, I guess that proves there's no free choice. But they made the choice already. It's just that now they're seeing the results. Let me check on Putin, since business, right? Isn't that what he always says? It's business. You're getting so emotional. It's like Americans are crying. It's just business, It's like, this is a game. This is a game between you and me. It's like, it's business. You screw me, I screw you. It's all about trade. It's all about business. The sun coming out over, so stuff coming out. We're going to give him an offer. He feels he needs to refuse. He's in trouble, and that's why he's probably saying he wants to work with Biden. Interesting. Ace of Wands coming up. King of Pentacles over business. Oh, Sun. He's getting an offer that he doesn't want to take from Biden. In plainer words, he's going to have to scrap this whole program if he wants to get any aid from Biden. So, boy, what a child. He really is a lot like Donald Trump in the sense that he's like, well, we were planning on scrapping that program anyway, with a disinformation program anyway. It's kind of like a feeling like he will be successful in business, Ace of Wands, right? Success with his business cards, taking a leap of faith with the new administration, because you can see Biden here. But the problem is that what Biden wants and the strengthening of NATO is quite possibly not going to help Putin financially. So I don't know how he's going to work with this administration, because the policies of Biden, the financial policies of the Obama-Biden presidency took an economic toll on Russia. All right, I had kind of a long day today, everybody. I don't think that's true about Rosenstein. We'll see some more about that. All right, love and light, everybody. Thanks for hanging out and taking the class. Did that help people at all? You know how readers do quick technique? There you go. I'm burned out. I'm gonna eat some chocolate and call it a night. All right, love and light, everybody. I'll see you later. Thanks for the support. Bye.